If your family loves the great outdoors every season, there's only one place to go this season, Cabela's Christmas Sale. Shop for great deals on their favorite outdoor brands, like $70 off Vortex Crossfire 2 3x9x50 VPEX rifle scopes. Save 40% on Cabela's casual apparel. And get up to 40% off Cabela's meat slicers. Plus, don't miss Saturday 8 a.m. doorbusters. Find great deals for everything on their list. Shop in-store and at Cabela's.com.
Containment remains at about 12,600 acres. But we expect that 10% containment to go up this evening.
In San Diego, at least 20 homes have been destroyed in a new fire burning near the town of Fallbrook. At least 2 people have been hospitalized with burns. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is Michael Medved. I'm here with Mike Stahl from Health Markets, helping folks find the right Medicare coverage. The news reports say that the rates might be going down.
The government projects the cost of Medicare plans will decrease this year. So you have to ask yourself, are you getting the best rate? Health Markets offers a free service with access to thousands of Medicare plans nationwide to help folks maximize their benefits and save money.
What is it people need to keep in mind?
Enrollment in the right plan is not automatic. With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing. My advice, don't go it alone. Get unbiased help to find a plan that may cost less and cover more with lower co-payments, more choices like dental and vision, and the freedom to choose your doctors. With the enrollment deadline only weeks away, it's important to act now. Our Health Markets Medicare assistance is free.
Thanks, Mike. This is Michael Medved for Health Markets.
For your free Medicare assistance, call 800-601-0289. That's 800-601-0289. 800-601-0289.
An Ivy League university says it's replacing all its student loans with grants.
Brown University says it aims to replace all student loans with scholarships beginning next year. The Ivy League school in Providence, Rhode Island, stopped considering ability to pay in admissions decisions 14 years ago. Now it wants to attract students from moderate-income families that wouldn't qualify for the grants given low-income students. Brown announced it's raised enough, $30 million, to substitute scholarships for student loans. It needs to raise $90 million more to sustain the program. I'm Warren Levinson.
About 20 survivors of the attack on Pearl Harbor have gathered to remember those killed 76 years ago in the Japanese aerial assault. Thursday's ceremony began with a moment of silence in honor of those who died. It happened at 7:55 a.m., the same time the attack began on December 7th, 1941. 4 F-22 fighter jets broke the silence. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. Bitcoin has breached the 15,000 mark, extending the digital currency's record-breaking surge.
The rise of Bitcoin has been rapid. Its value is now approaching 20 times what it was a year ago. The currency is accepted for payment by some businesses, but its use is not widespread. For many people, it's seen more as an asset to invest in, and that's being reinforced by the fact that Bitcoin-based financial derivatives are due to start trading on 2 major US exchanges this month. Inevitably, the concerns are mounting that the rise in value might be unsustainable.
BBC correspondent Andrew Walker reporting, the onset of futures trading has parts of Wall Street concerned. A group of banks came out and complained that federal regulators approved the futures, which begin trading on Sunday, too quickly and without properly considering the risks inherent in Bitcoin. The futures signal more mainstream acceptance of the currency, but also open up Bitcoin to additional market forces. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the U.S. or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season.
If you don't want to hear real facts on social and political issues, then stop listening now. Otherwise, stay right here for real issues, real facts with real people.
accelerate your culturalization of America.
But when the Dems use the argument that we're all immigrants, that's, I want to turn into the Tasmanian devil with two clubs in my hand and clear the road. They were immigrants that came here because they wanted to be here. They wanted to learn they wanted the American dream. You cannot get the American dream speaking Spanish.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
I'm going to deal with topics and issues that'll make you think, make you mad, and maybe even get you a little embarrassed. Don't go anywhere. The lines are open. You can reach me at 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563.
You're always so stupid. Did you take lessons?
You're despicable.
We are back. You're listening to the Real Side here on GCN Live. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Remember, we're going to have the David Fisher join us after the first break. We're going to talk about gold. I should say we're going to talk about precious metals, stocks, Bitcoin, burying money in the backyard, and so on. Really, a whole bunch. Always a pleasure to have you with me. I do appreciate the time that you're spending with me on the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, and being part of the conversation. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. So, Nancy Pelosi, somebody that we, love to make fun of. Because she doesn't give us much of a choice now, does she? I mean, think about it. She constantly, and I do mean constantly, she comes up with stuff. You just have to scratch your head and go, what planet is she on? Where did she read that? Why does she believe that to be truth? It's always amazing to me when I read this stuff about her. So I want you to think about, she came out with a tweet. Maybe she shouldn't be allowed to tweet. And she gets roasted on Twitter for doing this. And one of the things she says is that inviting violent criminals to carry concealed weapons doesn't save lives. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. So she was heavily criticized on Wednesday for blatantly lying about the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act that was passed in the House of Representatives, 231 votes to 198 votes against. Now, Pelosi's tweet claimed that the bill invited violent criminals, like Kate Steinle's killer, right? Oh, no, never mind, not that one. Domestic abusers and convicted stalkers to carry concealed weapons, which doesn't save lives. Now, so what she's basically saying in one, because the concealed carry reciprocity simply means if you've got a license in one state, it's good in another. Right? So is she suggesting that other states give licenses to criminals to carry concealed? She's saying that other states are too stupid to know better? Well, let's just say that's not what she's saying. So she sends out a tweet. She says, inviting violent criminals to carry concealed weapons doesn't save lives. Inviting domestic abusers to carry concealed weapons doesn't save lives. Inviting convicted stalkers to carry concealed weapons doesn't save lives. Nancy, I mean, really, seriously. I think you have a concealed brain because I haven't seen it. I don't think anybody has in years. I mean, think of those words. She just reminds me of a crazy old bag lady, right? You've seen it, and I know there's guys that do it too, but the last two I've seen have been women, right, with the big heavy coats on in the middle of the summer, and they're rummaging through something, and you feel bad for them. I don't know what they're doing or why they're there. I'm not suggesting they're there for any, but I have a clue when they're reaching down and they're talking to cans, or they're talking to things that aren't there. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I can take it for granted I have a little bit of a clue going on. Now, her claims are so far off that she could be one of those women. Those three groups of people are not only banned from buying guns, but they're banned from even possessing them. And she knows that. So she either is blatantly lying like Harry Reid did, remember, against Romney, and he was proud of it. The Democratic leader would tweet something so demonstrably false can only mean one of two things. She's deliberately trying to mislead the public, or she's actually this ignorant. Actually, I'd give it a third one. right? Not ignorant, just that stupid. According to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF, right, the Gun Control Act codified I'm not going to say. Anyway, it says in the act, it makes it illegal for the following persons to ship, transport, receive, or possess firearms or even ammunition. If you've been convicted in any court of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year, who is a fugitive from justice, well, I can see that, okay, who is an unlawful user of or addicted to any controlled substance as defined in Section 102 of the Controlled Substance Act, who has been adjudicated as a mental defective or has been committed to any mental institution, who is an illegal alien, who has been discharged from the armed services under dishonorable conditions, who has renounced his or her United States citizenship, who is subject... Well, I guess an illegal, it's okay because they've never renounced their citizenship. I'm trying to play at her field level. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be nice. Who is subject to court order restraining the person from harassing, stalking, or threatening an intimate partner or child of an intimate partner who has been convicted of a misdemeanor crime or domestic violence. Now, she's issued no correction. She doesn't want to fix her mistake. She wants it to set in. She wants it to settle in. She really wants you to believe that these people are actually getting these permits in other states, which is a total lie, totally disingenuous, totally not true. Now, there's been a flood of tweets nailing her on this. Not that she cares. Right? One says the House did nothing of the sort. Another person says anyone convicted of a felony or domestic violence can't have a gun. Not legally, anyhow. Unless you're in Chicago, in which case it seems like it's easy to get a gun. Dana Lash says this is patently false. Existing law bars violent criminals from getting it, and you know it. If she is blatantly lying about this in this light to get what she wants, and she thinks it's okay, what else will she not stop at? Just asking. I'm Joe Messina, your host. You listen to The Real Side. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
J&M Enterprises is a full-service screen printing company. They print on shirts, pants, hats, cups, frisbees, sports bags, sweatshirts, tote bags, and most any other promotional items. J&M has been family-owned and operated for over 25 years. J&M takes pride in providing high-quality products and services because...
Did you know that 9 countries around the world have already seized their citizens' assets to pay down their country's debt or support their banking system, known as what we call a bail-in? Did you know that bonds, mutual funds, and cash can be easily seized, while certain types of gold and silver coins historically are protected from government confiscation? Would you like to know the laws that have been passed to seize your wealth and how to protect your hard-earned money? Did you know that the Dodd-Frank Act allows our government to do the same type of seizure on our investments that those other 9 countries have already done with their citizens? If you don't want the government to seize your assets, you need to know how to protect yourself. You need to call our friends at Landmark Capital today. They are waging war against the government seizure of your wealth. Call 855-747-5947. That's 855-747-5947 to get free info or landmarkgold.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not from the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Joe Messina here, host of the Real Side Radio Show. I'm asking you to exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that support one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call us at 855-58-LIBERTY. That's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or check us online at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. You want to continue to be one of those uninformed voters, uninformed people in this world? Then change the channel, because I'm going to give you information you can work with. I'm going to give you information that's going to make you have to make a decision, have to do something about what's going on in this country today. If you want to get involved in the conversation, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Hop on the website, therealside.com, where you can get involved in the live chat, the watch live, the listen live, take the latest poll, check out my classic podcast. There's so much going on the website. Buy my book, Ramblings of a Right-Wing Bible-Thumping White Guy. We have shirts up there, #stand. It'll help you show others that you're willing to stand for liberty, stand for freedom, stand for these United States. You know, that's how we stay around. Do something. Get involved. The lines are open, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Go to the website, become one of my PIPs, my politically incorrect posse members. That's right. For the cost of a cup of coffee at that very expensive coffee place, you can go ahead and be a member of the team. So keep it here. Remember, get informed, get involved. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Real Side on GCN Live, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
J&M Enterprises is a full-service screen printing company. They print on shirts, pants, hats, cups, frisbees, sports bags, sweatshirts, tote bags, and most any other promotional items. J&M has been family-owned and operated for over 25 years. J&M takes pride in providing high-quality products and services because we care. Our state-of-the-art equipment enables us to print high volume with superior quality on any job. We print on clothing lines for schools, businesses, sports teams, and bands nationwide. Our team is committed to total customer satisfaction and the quality you should expect from a professional screen printing company. J&M, family-owned and operated. Give us a call. We guarantee a great product and a great price. 800-462-0002. For a price quote, 800-468-0002. Or go to the web at www.jnm.cc.
In the fabric of space where time becomes a loop from which there is no escape.
We are back. I'm Joe Massini, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me, and I do appreciate the time that you're spending with me on the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, and being part of the conversation. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. And I really do mean that. I do appreciate the time that you're spending with me on the air, in the chat room, and texting, tweeting. Let me get this David Fisher's piece up. But, you know, here's the thing. You don't have to buy from him. You don't have to buy from anybody. I'm trying to give you information. Yeah. You know, he's the sponsor of the show. I wish you would buy from him if it is something you're going to do. But I don't do it so you kind of push you into a corner. I want you to hear the information. I try to poke these guys as much as I can. But I want you to hear the information and make the informed decisions on your own. I try to make sure they don't leave anything out so you do get what you need to make an informed decision. You know, every week, David Fisher joins me. He's the CEO of Landmark Capital, and we always have a good time because, you know, he doesn't speak, what do I want to call it, financiers? He speaks plain, simple English, something we can all understand and learn from. And there's all kinds of ways to protect your money. There's all kinds of ways to invest your money, and David is real simple, lays it out in a real simple fashion. David, thanks for being with me today. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be a part of your program, as always.
I'll always have fun with you. Listen, the stock market is like, all over the place. It was mixed yesterday, and today there's some issues going on with it. What's causing all of this? I mean, it looks like things are going good at the White House, but apparently not.
Well, things are going good at the White House. We're getting ready to put the final little details on this tax bill, and in doing so, you have to understand how Congress works. They want to throw everything in the kitchen sink in there at the very end. And so there's too many variables now coming, and there's a little glitches here and there. So that's what's causing the market to get spooked a little bit. It's down double digits today, about 40 points. It was triple digits yesterday down when the news came out. So we're having, not a whole lot of, some people are calling this as the first start of the correction because it was down another day late last week. So I don't know if that's the case. It's going to correct at some point, but I don't know if this is causing the correct. I think this is just more of a hiccup, Joe, in coming out and hammering out the final details between the House and the Senate, the differences between the tax bill. There's not a whole lot of differences, but there is some pushback on it a little bit, and because they're trying to throw little things in there. They call this the Christmas year's end deal is what they're, and the year end they've done this for the last 10 years. They throw a whole bunch of stuff on the back of a bill and see what sticks, and that's what's causing this delay.
It looks like this is all going to ultimately it's going to go through. We both know that. This is the big win, right, for Donald Trump. And some are saying that the tax bill needed to go through before, or should have gone through first before they even tried to go after the health care plan, health care bill, which I think they're going to hit again after the first of the year. How much fuel will this bring to the markets once this thing actually passes? And it looks good overall. Where do you think the markets will go? I mean, really go?
Well, I think that if we put any more benefit to the market by passing of the tax bill as far as faster movements, then we'll be in what you call a parabolic movement, which is what Bitcoin really is. So, let's put this into perspective. The stock markets have moved 20%, north of 20% this year. That's pretty phenomenal. When the S&P 500 has had 11 consecutive months of reaching all-time highs back-to-back, when it's never done that in history, asking for more, and I know you're not asking for more, but, we got to get out of the idea that this is, going to, add a whole lot more to it. I think what it's going to do, and put it in perspective, it's going to create more longevity to the market as far as a bull market. I think this is healthy. I think it's hitting on exactly what President Trump campaigned, and I think we're going to see the benefits of this. I think there's some things in the bill that definitely misses the bullseye, but you can't have everything you want in life, and that's how markets work. And but I think it's not going to be a detriment at all. There's nothing about it that could see a detriment, except for it's going to add more debt to our government deficit and the budget deficit. It's going to add more of that and more national debt.
Right.
So there's that side note, but they're saying, and I hope they're right, that it's all going to get taken care of through job growth and more revenue back to the treasury.
That's part of what I was going to ask you. I want to say to you before we blew past that too fast is they're talking about $1.5 trillion, maybe even $2 trillion max. Say things go sideways. We've added $10 trillion in 8 years. I mean, seriously, in the grand scheme of things, if we put more people back to work, and the economy gets better and companies are feeling better, I mean, this could conceivably, and it's not far-fetched, but it could conceivably really turn things around for us, couldn't it?
Well, you have to put it in perspective. That's just one piece of the pie. When you add, if we didn't pass this tax bill, okay?
Right.
$5 to $6 trillion of increase is going to come to the national debt in 10 years. That's because we're overspending. And that's because interest rates are going to start moving up, and so therefore the national debt payment does cost more. That's without adding any more. on top of that, put this tax bill in there, which is some say it's as small as $1 trillion added to the national debt, and some say it's as much as 2, and most people say it's 1.5. So let's put it into perspective. We're going to have around $7 trillion, and that's the conservative number, and usually they're wrong. I'm going to say $8 trillion in a decade. So we're very close to the spending habits of what happened under President Obama, was what President Trump is doing, and we still haven't got to the $1 trillion infrastructure spending bill that he wants to pass, and we don't know how much really is going to come out in the end result of the House and Senate bill. It's really going to focus on how much they're going to add towards defense. That might be a whole nother separate bill, especially if we go to war. So I think we're going to see somewhere very, very similar, but on the conservative side of what the previous president did. I know this is going to make a lot of feathers ruffle, but it's just numbers. You got to look at it. Just take all the emotion out of it. This is not a Republican thing. This is not a Democratic thing. This is the government still has not tackled them. Now they're saying, Paul Ryan recently said they're going to be the number one thing they tackle in 2018. I'll believe it when I see it, and that is government spending. So there's two sides of the equation. They have not yet tackled that. In fact, they haven't tackled that in how many decades now, Joe?
Forever. We're going to be more back. We're going to be more back. Wow. David Fisher joins us on the other side of the break, and we'll have more for you then. I'm Joe Messina, your host. We'll be right back.
J&M Enterprises is a full-service screen printing company. They print on shirts, pants, hats, cups, frisbees, sports bags, sweatshirts, tote bags, and most any other promotional items. J&M has been family-owned and operated for over 25 years. J&M takes pride in providing high-quality products and services because we care. Our state-of-the-art equipment enables us to print high volume with superior quality on any job. We print on clothing lines. Is a full-service screen printing company. They print on shirts, pants, hats, cups, frisbees, sports bags, sweatshirts, tote bags, and most any other promotional items. J&M has been family-owned and operated for over 25 years. J&M takes pride in providing high-quality products and services because we care. Our state-of-the-art equipment enables us to print high volume with superior quality on any job. We print on clothing lines for schools, businesses, sports teams, and bands nationwide. Our team is committed to total customer satisfaction and the quality you should expect from a professional screen printing company. J&M, family owned and operated. Give us a call. We guarantee a great product and a great price. 800-462-0002. For a price quote, 800-468-0002. Or go to the web at www.jnm.cc.
Did you know that 9 countries around the world have already seized their citizens' assets to pay down their country's debt or support their banking system, known as what we call a bail-in? Did you know that bonds, mutual funds, and cash can be easily seized, while certain types of gold and silver coins historically are protected from government confiscation? Would you like to know the laws that have been passed to seize your wealth and how to protect your hard-earned money? Did you know that the Dodd-Frank Act allows our government to do the same type of seizure on our investments that those other 9 countries have already done with their citizens? If you don't want the government to seize your assets, you need to know how to protect yourself. You need to call our friends at Landmark Capital today. They are waging war against the government seizure of your wealth. Call 855-747-5947. That's 855-747-5947 to get free info, or landmarkgold.com.
You want to continue to be one of those uninformed voters, uninformed people in this world? Then change the channel, because I'm going to give you information you can work with. I'm going to give you information that's going to make you have to make a decision, have to do something about what's going on in this country today. If you want to get involved in the conversation, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563.
Hop on the website, therealside.com, where you can get involved in the live chat, the watch live, the listen live, take the latest poll, check out my classic podcast. There's so much going on the website. Buy my book, Ramblings of a Right-Wing Bible-Thumping White Guy. We have shirts up there, #stand. It'll help you show others that you're willing to stand for liberty, stand for freedom, stand for these United States. You know, that's how we stay around. Do something. Get involved. The lines are open, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Go to the website, become one of my PIPs, my politically incorrect posse members. That's right. For the cost of a cup of coffee at that very expensive coffee place, you can go ahead and be a member of the team. So keep it here. Remember, get informed, get involved. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Real Side on GCN Live, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not from the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Joe Messina here, host of the Real Side Radio Show. I'm asking you to exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports.
We are back. You're listening to Real Side on GCN Live. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5560. Yeah, I'll get it in a second. Man, fingers aren't working right. Anyway, I'm Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. Let's get right back to it. David Fisher, CEO of Landmark Capital. You know, I've been hearing about Bitcoin. I've been hearing about gold and silver and, you know, good old-fashioned tin coffee cans, bury your money in the backyard, buy real estate, and I'm so confused. That's why I bring David on, because he has a clue, and I trust him. Take a listen. Well, David Fisher, I always love when he's on with me, because I understand what he's saying. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you, but he always lays it down in plain, simple English so we can understand what's going on, you know, in finances, in the stock market, with precious metals, with your savings account, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do to save some money to protect your finances, David always gives us a keen and clear perspective as to what's going on. David Fisher, CEO of Landmark Capital, always a pleasure to have you with me. You just made me sick during the last segment, though. You were talking about it is at 1.4. It may be closer to 8 trillion, correct?
Well, you have to put in. Okay, let's look at history.
Okay.
And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But history has never shown that yet. So when President Reagan, who is my hero, and my dad served with him, and I think he's the greatest president we've ever had in my lifetime, and I'm 56 years old, what he did in creating job stimulus and economic growth was none came close to that. He still raised the debt. And that's what we're not, because we never got down to government never got the spending under control, not even under Reagan. So something this is where you can't have your cake and eat it too, and you have to negotiate, and something has to sacrifice. It's just like, you know, all the wildfires where you're at. We're going to have to California's going to have to spend some money, because why? We're having a wildfire. So you're going to have to figure out where that's going to come from, and where they're going to take it from. They're going to probably have to raise taxes. That's just the unfortunate thing, or they do nothing about it. I don't see them doing nothing about it. I see them doing something about it, because that's the way America functions. So to get this under control, as far as the debt, they got to cut spending. And the whole idea is, you know, and what President Trump has campaigned upon, and I've said this before in your program, and I'm saying it again, is there's never been a situation that says once you stimulate job growth enough, that's going to in turn create so much revenue to the government that's going to actually pay down deficits. That's never happened. Didn't happen under Reagan. I hope Trump is different. His tax cut is not as big as Reagan's, even though he says it's the biggest in history. That is not true. So
everything he says is the biggest and the best. I get it. Right.
So we got to put it into perspective. If it was the biggest, I'd be telling you it's the biggest, but it's not the biggest. Reagan had a bigger tax break, corporately and personal break, but it's got to get the debt down, and it probably will not do that because it didn't do that under Reagan. He inherited $550 billion. He walked out of the office at $2.2 trillion. The debt went up 4 times. Excuse me. Let's get my math right. So is the debt going to go up 4 times under Trump? No, but it's going to come close to doubling, just like it did under Obama.
Wow.
If he's in there 2 terms, that is. Because I'm expecting they're going to pass a $1 trillion infrastructure spending bill. I'm expecting we're going to go to war with Korea, unfortunately, and that's going to be more defensive spending. We're going to get another bill for that. That's just those 2 things. So there's going to be other things that will happen in the next 8 years that's going to cause our government to spend more money.
And it looks like, according to China, they're going to go ahead and they're going to back North Korea. At least that's the grumbling. What would that do to us, do you think, if they stopped they bought our debt. I don't know if they're still buying debt from us. I don't know how that's working. You're the genius here. I mean, how do you think that might affect us from a Chinese relationship with America?
If China stops buying our debt?
Mm-hmm.
Well, China's moving into a recession right now, and they have some problems with their economy, not long-term problems, but short-term problems. In fact, all economies, I think, are going to face to some short-term problems because the reality is you can't spend your way out of an economic problem, a debt. You cannot spend more to make more in debt structure. I mean, it works certain business structures. It does work, but not. If it did work, then why do we have $20 trillion in debt? It doesn't work that way. You have to cut spending, and that's until they face the spending. That's where the problem is. So with that, if China walks away from buying our debt, and they've been slowly doing that, but if they aggressively do this, and they're doing it a little bit more than slowly, but it's not aggressively. But if they take an aggressive stance, then we could see some major problems with the functioning of how we manage our debt, much more than with the problem we have right now. But, we do have a debt problem in our country. They've been saying this even recently on Fox News. In fact, one commentator who's very pro-American, very pro-Trump, he says, we're no different than Greece. We're just on a slower road to the same end result. This is, this week, Joe. So, I mean, it's not popular what we're saying, but it is the reality. And that's the human nature side. Nobody wants to hear that the stock market's going to correct. Nobody wants to hear that the bond market is in a bubble. Nobody wants to hear that there's certain areas of the economy that are overheated, but that is the reality. And when markets go from extreme bullishness that lead to extreme bearishness, that's just how markets operate. And when those extreme bearishness happen, then that leads in turn to an extreme bullishness. So it doesn't happen overnight, but when they get to an extreme level, get ready for the change. We have an extreme bull market going on in stocks. It's not normal, this high extreme bull market. We will have a change. We had an extreme bear market in stocks in 2008 and 9, and it went to a bull market in 2009 and 10, which turned into an extreme bull market today. But it's not going to stay that way forever because markets do change, environments do change. But the key is we got to figure out how to get our debt under control. That is really the key to everything.
All right, so let's move on to maybe something that's more uplifting. What's your opinion of Bitcoin? Because I can't turn my computer on and look at my email today without being told I have to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to explode. Bitcoin is here to stay. Bitcoin is the wave of the future. Explain this to us.
Okay, well, first of all, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. And a cryptocurrency was designed to have your money private as an alternative payment source outside of any government agency or their banking system. That was the purpose of it. Has it hit that bullseye? Not. The answer is no to that. And some say it's as much as a Ponzi scheme. But I would say it's not at that level. I'm hearing people on financial news saying that. I don't hold that belief system. And just on a side note, I'm not an owner of a Bitcoin. I never have bought Bitcoin. I'm not anti-Bitcoin. But just be careful in this market because it's what you call a parabolic market. When it moves as fast as it's been moving, and one of the reasons it's doing that is because it's starting to attract a lot of big money into the market because it's moving so fast.
Right.
So, which perpetuates this parabolic movement. I'm looking at a chart right now. Hardly anybody would invest in this market because it's straight up as the Bitcoin chart. So just be careful. They've had some challenges along the way, and I talked about this a little bit last week. Let me make sure you understand there's a difference between owning Bitcoin for an investment and there's owning Bitcoin as a payment system. And then there's mining a Bitcoin where you actually can buy several high-end, and I'm not a tech guy, but my son was telling me about this, how you get a card, you buy it, you can buy it at Best Buy. Cards typically cost, and there's a name for this card, that you can actually use it as a power source to mine Bitcoin. When my son went to buy one card for his video games, there was somebody in line buying 9 cards, and the cards cost $800. So that tells you a little bit about how much expense there is in actually having the right kind of software in your computer to actually mine a Bitcoin. So if a Bitcoin is trading in the $12,000+ range,
then you're going to make a whole bunch of money. Anyway, we got to go for a break. Speaking of making money, we got to go for a break. I'm Joe Messina, your host. You'll see the real side on GCN Live. More with David Fisher after the break. Heat up your coffee. Come on back.
Attention type 2 diabetics. If you or a loved one has taken Invokana, Invokamet, or Invokamet XR or other inhibitors for type 2 diabetes and suffered amputation of the toes, feet, or legs, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has warned that Invokana, Invokamet, or Invokamet XR and other inhibitors for type 2 diabetes cause an increased role in amputations of the toes, feet, and legs. If you or a loved one has taken Invokana, Invokamet, or Invokamet XR or other inhibitors for type 2 diabetes and suffered amputation of the toes, feet, or legs, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-475-7607. That's 800-475-7607. Again, 800-475-7607. Call now. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. www.injuryhelpdesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, Mr. Anderson. The NSA has noticed how much time you spend on conservative news sites. We have no choice but to consider you a domestic terrorist.
Tired of your internet activity being monitored by Big Brother? Get virtualshield.com, the world's easiest to use virtual private network. Browse the web anonymously, leaving pesky advertisers and spies in the dust. Get started today at virtualshield.com. Take advantage of our free 30-day trial. Virtualshield.com. You have the right to remain private.
Excuse me, sir. Could you take a picture of my family and me with my cell phone?
Sure, Mrs. Anderson. Smile for the camera.
Too bad hackers never get proper permission to access your cell phone or computer camera. Anyone is or could be susceptible to illegal spying. That's why VirtualShield.com has developed IdentiSafe, a new security software that blocks camera and microphone access from unwanted spies. Get started today at VirtualShield.com. Take advantage of our free 30-day trial. VirtualShield.com. You have the right to remain private.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's MyPillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Are you happy washing your hands with harsh chemicals? Are you happy doing laundry with detergents? Are you happy paying high prices? Find your happiness with Pure Soap. These all-natural, earth-friendly Pure Soaps are the very best you've ever used. Buy in bulk. Get a 12, 36, or 48-month supply. Or get items individually and still save big. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. Earth-friendly and natural soaps. Your family deserves the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com. Why not put your money up the drain for a change? See them at 5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog. Cal Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils. See their full selection of soaps at 5starsoap.com. That's F-I-V-E starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Message and data rates may apply.
Warning. Texting while driving is illegal just about everywhere. So if you want to take advantage of a life-changing LASIK offer, pull over when you can, because a special opportunity is just one text away. The LASIK Vision Institute is offering absolutely free evaluations and dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK. Text the keyword CLEAR55 to 350350 to get the benefit of FDA-approved LASIK technology that gives the majority of patients 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Text to schedule your free appointment to see if LASIK is right for you. When you text CLEAR55 to 350350, you'll also get an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Today, it's your turn. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you've always wanted for a fraction of what others charge. This great offer is just a text away. Text CLEAR55 to 350350. That's CLEAR55 to 350350.
Anybody care about what I want? I do. Shut up. Get out.
We are back. You listen to The Real Side on GCN Live. Let me jump right on it because I don't want to lose any time with David Fisher. He's been explaining to us about Bitcoin and precious metals and really how to protect your money because we're still not quite sure where things are going, right? You're never sure which way the stock market is actually going to end up going. You know, let me bring David Fisher back on, CEO of Landmark Capital, and we're going through what's going on in the finance world today, whether it's stocks, bonds, precious metals, burying your money in the backyard, or even this Bitcoin thing that everybody seems to be talking about. But not new to the world, but new to many of us. David, again, thanks for being with me today, and explain how this Bitcoin has moved around, if you would.
Absolutely. So in 2014, on the exchange of Mt. Gox, hackers stole $500 million in the Bitcoin system. As a result of that, Bitcoin itself did an internal bail-in, seizing portions of people's account 36% across the board. Last summer, there was another hack on a different exchange out of Hong Kong this time, Bitfinex, and that was $72 million. So far, Bitcoin itself has not been hacked into, but the exchanges that Bitcoin has been used on, except for one exchange, and an exchange is just how you can buy a stock off an exchange. Okay, an exchange is just how you trade off of. That's what that is. There is an exchange out of San Francisco called Coinbase. I'm not endorsing them, but I would say this: if you're going to get involved in a Bitcoin or any cryptocurrencies, and there's a dozen of them or greater out there, to trade, buy or sell for whatever mechanisms you want to, for investment, which should be highly speculative, and I would use a very small amount of money. That's number one, warning. And two, I would use it off a system that's never been hacked into, and that's Coinbase, just as a side note there. But as far as globally, all the countries are commenting recently. India's come out, their finance minister, and said that they do not recognize Bitcoin as legal tender. Turkey has claimed Bitcoin is not compatible with their Islamic laws, so they're not able to control it as a government. South Korea came out and says they're investigating various ways of regulating it. Holland is coming out and urging their citizens to sell their Bitcoins because it's not patriotic. Because of cryptocurrencies are undermining government stability and economic stability. So there's a whole bunch of countries. The UK is chiming in, and they're cracking down on Bitcoin amongst the growing concern of laundering money, which, that's been found that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are actually doing that. But there is a bill, Senate Bill 1241 in the United States, the Judiciary Committee, that is currently tackling a problem that is coming against Bitcoin ownership and control of using alternative currency except for using U.S. dollars, which is Article 1, Section 8. So it's not been passed, but I think you're going to get some pushback on it. I think Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are here to stay. Just be careful if you're going to invest in them.
Well, no, it's good advice, because in talking to friends and other people that want to get involved, I said, look, guys, I don't know a whole bunch about this, but the value comes from what people want from it or give to it or perceive it to be. I mean, again, this is no different than the bartering I used to do. There's no real value to anybody else but me and the guy that I'm bartering with, and I kind of likened it to that. Am I off there, or?
No, you're right. And, what causes the bartering system to be more in place is that there's this belief amongst many people that we're going to have currency problems moving forward. And so this is the alternative currency. So currency is divisible and it's recognized. It doesn't meet those two criteria. You can't devise a Bitcoin, is my understanding. But there is a lot of money coming into it. In fact, the Chicago Board of Trade, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, is launching a certification of Bitcoin futures December 18th. So we're getting involved in it as a country. It's just very highly opinionated. We'll see where it all lands. I think 2018 first quarter, we're going to see the government actually take a stance on this, I believe, or maybe the Fed first or second quarter of next year. So until then, I'm keeping my eyes on it for everybody, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, can't wait to hear more. But since we're talking about money and fake money, the debt ceiling is back in our face again.
Are you saying our money substance is fake money? Is that what you just said, Joe?
Listen, it's the full faith and trust of the American government? I don't know, right there leaves me suspect. But what the debt ceiling's back at it again, and we can't just ignore it.
Well, the debt ceiling has been with us for some time, long before you and I walked the earth here. Of course, in September, we hit the debt ceiling, and they struck a deal with a hurricane relief bill. And that now that time is upon us where they got to pass it. And it's really upon us now because it's actually the Friday night at 12 o'clock this week. They don't create a debt increase, ceiling increase, we'll have a government shutdown. So it's all over the place. I think it's not being talked about that much until just yesterday because the whole tax bill is really overshadowed this, and it still is overshadowing this. But this could be a much bigger problem if they don't deal with this. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Paul Ryan, and Mitch McConnell are going to meet with President Trump here on Thursday to hammer out a deal. While that is happening, there is actually a small tax analysis bill that might just fund the government for a couple weeks here. It's a last-minute break in news that's through the caucus movement that they are talking about doing this. But the problem with this is they're so concerned about, everybody's concerned about what will actually be piggybacked on the back of a 2-week bill just to fund the government for 2 weeks so we can get through Christmas and then talk about it here at the beginning of next year. So I don't know what it's all going to turn out to be, but the funny or the ironicness of this is President Trump is chiming in with very strong leadership saying, if we might have a government shutdown, and if we do, it's going to be blamed upon the Democrats because they couldn't get something done, and they're looking at illegal immigrants as pouring into our country. They don't want to have a strong military. He's putting the blame out there already. But we'll see what happens in this meeting on Thursday, and we'll see what happens if we get a short-term bill. If we don't, we will have a government shutdown on Friday. And next week, if they don't get it together, we could start having a default in the month of December or January on our financial obligations, and that's something we do not want.
The precious metal industries, it has a year-end discount. Tell us a little bit about that. What is that all about?
Well, it's driven by taxes on inventory, and wholesalers are people, Joe. They don't want to pay a tax. They'd rather discount a product and pass and create revenue for themselves in January of next year, 2018. So we pass the savings off to our clients. The discount starts usually the second week in December, so that'd be next week. Although I've seen it only happen for 3 or 4 days. Out of the 25 years I've been doing this, there's been a discount 22 years out of the 25, and usually it is a week before, week after Christmas. I've seen it go into January many times. I do know there's going to be a discount this year. I work with the largest wholesaler in the world. Talk to the vice president. Tells you a little bit about my relationship. And there is going to be a discount, and it's going to be greater than 2 or 3% on most products. And the highest discount I've seen in the history of doing this is close to 30%. It's very fast and furious. The markets aren't fast and furious, but the products come and go quickly because there's this discount. And what happens in January when it's all done, it's as the market, you can't even tell there was a discount. So there's a buying opportunity if somebody's been thinking about buying precious metals. This happens once a year when it does happen. And we're approaching it. I suggest people call my company and learn a little bit more about it than the time of the airways we have on your program to talk.
All right. So real quick, you still hold the view that the market correction is right over the top of the hill here, or what?
I don't know if it's over the top, but it's there's more and more people coming out. Again, the Bank of International Settlements forewarned of a correction in 2007. They're saying the same thing this last week already, that we're going to have another correction, and most investors are ignoring the warning signs. There's other companies coming out and saying there's a correction. Goldman Sachs warned of a correction. JP Morgan is warning of a correction. Bank of America now is warning of a correction. Individual investors, there's 20 billionaires warning of a correction this year. So we're seeing a lot more warnings this time, but there's still a lot of people saying we're in the best bull market ever, and it's this environment is normal. When you see this type of movement, you're going to have all kinds of people come out and say this, except for this time, there's a lot more people sounding the alarm, saying just be very careful.
Wow, it's always tell people how they can get a hold of you there, David, because my head's swimming right now because of all the stuff that's going on in the financial world. I'd love to have 2 more hours with you, but tell people how they can get a hold of you.
844-715-7311, or I'll say it slow for your dad. 844-715-7311, or they.
All right, or you can head up to landmarkgold.com. That's landmarkgold.com. Do some reading before you start calling and asking all kinds of questions. Have a clue as to what you want to talk about. I'm Joe Messina, your host. Don't miss it. Karen Sigmund joins me in the next hour. Go grab some coffee, grab a snack, come on back, because I'll be here. Hopefully you will be too.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstrip. There will be no government shutdown this weekend.
On this vote, the yeas are 235, the nays are 193. Without objection, the joint resolution is passed. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
New Mexico Republican Steve Pierce announcing the passage of a stopgap spending bill that will keep things running through December 22nd. The idea is to buy time for negotiations on unfinished bipartisan business on the Hill, including the budget, a key children's health program, and aid to hurricane-slammed Puerto Rico. The Senate seems likely to follow the House lead. Minnesota Democratic Senator Al Franken made it official today. He'll resign his Senate seat.
In a somber and sometimes emotional tone, Senator Franken said he would leave the Senate in the coming weeks. His announcement followed several allegations from multiple women who accused him of sexual misconduct.
I was shocked. I was upset.
Franken said some of those incidents never happened. At the same time, he cited the irony surrounding his resignation.
I am leaving while a man who has bragged on tape about his history of sexual assault sits in the Oval Office, and a man who has repeatedly preyed on young girls campaigns for the Senate.
Franken's resignation follows a torrent of pressure from fellow Democrats for him to step aside. Linda Kenyon, Capitol Hill.
And another vacancy was created when Arizona Republican Trent Franks said he's resigning from the House because he discussed with two female staff aides whether they would consider being a surrogate mother. California fire officials say a wind-whipped wildfire northwest of Los Angeles burned at least 439 homes and other buildings. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti said residents are going to need to continue to be alert.
The prediction is, even though this isn't a time of calm winds, that we will continue to get gusts through Saturday that will be erratic and unpredictable, as high as 50 to 70 miles an hour.
More news and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstrip.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you...
If your family loves the great outdoors every season, there's only one place to go this season: Cabela's Christmas Sale. Shop for great deals on their favorite outdoor brands, like Cabela's Northport down jackets for only $59.99, 40% on Remington Ultimate Defense handgun ammo, 35% on all in-stock smokers, and 30% on select waders, hunting, and rubber boots. Find great deals for everything on their list. Shop in-store and at Cabela's.com.